Stay where you are! Show me your hands! Show me your hands!
A smash-and-grab gang just hit multiple luxury stores across London, stealing over £100,000 in just a few months, and it all ended with coordinated police raids and 7 men being jailed. This was not random crime. This was organised. Over a 4-month period, the group targeted high-value locations across Kensington and Westminster, striking at speed, often in the early hours, and disappearing before police could respond. In one of the first major incidents, a stolen Ford Fiesta was driven straight into the front of a luxury store on Sloane Street. The vehicle rammed the doors multiple times until they gave way. Within seconds, 3 men rushed inside, grabbing over £8,000 worth of designer goods before fleeing the scene in a waiting getaway car and a motorcycle. Just weeks later, the same pattern repeated. 2 men smashed their way into a cafe on St. John's Wood High Street, breaking through the front and stealing a safe containing cash before escaping. Then came one of the most significant attacks. In broad daylight, a jewelry store on Edgware Road was targeted with sledgehammers. Windows were smashed, display cabinets destroyed, and nearly £60,000 worth of watches and jewelry were taken in moments. The gang continued their spree across London, hitting retail stores on Kensington Church Street, Duke Street, and Marylebone High Street. Doors were forced open, glass shattered, and valuable goods taken or targeted, leaving behind thousands of pounds in damage. But while the attacks continued, police were building a case. The Met's flying squad began linking each incident, identifying patterns in the methods used and the locations targeted. CCTV footage played a crucial role, capturing movements before, during, and after each raid. Officers traced stolen vehicles used in the crimes, including a Jaguar and a Peugeot, connecting them back to the suspects. At the same time, forensic analysis and digital evidence from seized devices allowed investigators to piece together the wider criminal network behind the attacks. As the evidence grew, police moved in. In a series of coordinated early morning raids, officers arrested multiple suspects across London and surrounding areas, bringing the operation to an end. 7 men were eventually charged in connection with the robberies, each playing a role in the organised network responsible for the attacks. All later pleaded guilty in court. During sentencing, the full scale of the operation became clear. A coordinated group carrying out multiple high-value smash-and-grab raids with speed, planning, and precision. The group was sentenced to more than 22 years in prison. The case sends a clear message from police. Organised robbery networks may move fast, but they leave traces, and those traces lead back to them. Investigations like this rely on persistence, surveillance, and evidence, and in this case, it brought an entire network to justice. Christopher Gibbs was sentenced to 6 years in prison. Paul Hughes was sentenced to 5 years in prison. David Rigelsford was sentenced to 3 years and 9 months in prison. George O'Hare was sentenced to 2 years in prison. Lee McCready was sentenced to 2 years in prison. Matthew Windras was sentenced to 2 years in prison. Anthony Munday received a 2-year suspended sentence along with 150 hours of unpaid work. Subscribe for daily crime updates.
Like, comment, and subscribe for all the latest crime updates.